Hey out there, mommy friends. Welcome to the very first Mental Beauty Podcast. I'm Logan, your host, and I am so excited to get into the fray. Hey to all my new mommy friends. And if you're coming over from my blog, welcome to you as well to my new podcast. Just like my blog, it's going to be called Mental Beauty. It's called Mental Beauty because being a mom with mental health issues or any disability is a special and beautiful kind of unique challenge. Well, since this is the first time most of you are hearing about me, and I'm going to mess up a lot because this is my very first podcast, so bear with me, you guys. I decided that my very first blog would be about my story. Well, my very first podcast. My very first blog was also about my story. I'm nervous, y'all. I'm excited to get started. I would like to tell you all about myself and why I decided to create my blog and this podcast that most of you are finding me on here. So let's get started after a quick commercial. But for a quick commercial and we'll get started. Okay, mommy friends, let's get started with today's story. And today, it's mine. Like I said, my name is Logan, and I have a mom blog that I am doing on and off due to life and experiences that I cannot control. I have been running for about 4 years my blog. I'm a mom of 2 little girls who are 5 and 7 right now. I co-parent with my kids' fathers and my own mother, along with my amazing fiance. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I co-parent more or less with all of these people together. This is what I like to call my little village. I became a mom at a little bit of a younger age. I was 19 when I found out I was going to be having my first daughter. That has been a journey within itself. Suffering from mental illness and learning how to turn my suffering into empowerment is something I have always been passionate about. After another quick little break, I will continue with my story. Okay, y'all. Now that that's out of the way, back into the podcast. I will tell you the work I did as a youth advocate, as a young person myself. From about 17 to 25 years old, I learned a lot. Like, everyone has a special story, and I like to tell them. And that's why I made this podcast. With that said, when I got pregnant with my second daughter, I started trying to read those like mom magazines and parent magazines and all of those things. I very quickly learned that I could not relate to any of those stories or take any of those tips. They were not helpful to people like me. They were not helpful to people that I knew, other parents I knew with physical disabilities either. So I went on the hunt for about a year to find parent websites and mags and magazines that I could relate to, and I could not find any. They didn't have anything for me or my friends out there. My other like physical mommy friends out there that have physical disabilities and other mental disabilities or physical or mental challenges, and there was just nothing out there for me. Go figure. That forced me to start my own blog, which some of you listening have read. And I'll tell you more about that as our journey goes on. But now that we are up to date, this brings us to present day with my girls a little bit older and me too. I'm learning that things are getting harder for all of us, and there are a lot of changes going on in my life, which I will tell you guys about in a separate story coming up. So stay tuned. But in the near future, not too far away, so with all that change that I was talking about, I thought it would be a great idea to shake things up a little bit with some changes of my own. With me coming back to blogging, and I thought adding a podcast to reach even more mommy friends would be the way to go. And even if I don't make any new mommy friends, even if no one wants to listen, no one wants to hear my story, these stories, I thought it would be a great outlet for me and other people that I'm going to interview and know to have a safe space to tell their stories. I'm going to give you all more commercial breaks, I guess, unfortunately. But I'm going to try and contribute commercials that are mom friendly. My next story is going to be actually more centered towards the kids. But unfortunately, right now, we have to actually take a commercial break.